Last week we talked about the fact that Simon Kinberg signed on to write more Star Wars movies. Jed mentioned it again. 14 projects on the list. Likely very few of them ever to be made. And the thing is this week, a little bit of news drop, which what catalyzed me to bring up this conversation. It was an announcement, but it is in fact meaningless. Let's put that out there. The fact that the announcement came out on Friday that Disney removed a Star Wars movie from the 2026 slot in December. It's kind of meaningless because we already knew the fact that because the dude who does what we talked about it last. The dude who does the show that was working on Rise of Rey movie. What the hell's it called? I forgot.
What show?
The show he works on. God, I know I'm. I don't know.
A few moments later.
It's the British. It's a British show with Cillian Murphy.
Peaky Blinders.
Thank you, Peaky Blinders.
What is it? Stephen Black?
Yeah, is that his name? Okay,
I think so.
Okay,
it's something like that.
Yeah, I dangled for too long there. That wasn't fun. Dangled. Yeah, we're clipping that one too. Anyway, yeah. So Stephen Black, Peaky Blinders guy, left last week, and as soon as that happened, as soon as that news dropped, we knew the Rey movie was not going to meet its 2026 deadline. So now this is just an official thing. Rey movie. I said 2027. Quote me. The receipts are there. I said this thing's not coming out 2027, and here it is. And freaking Ice Age 6 is taking that slot. Who knew they were still making those movies? I sure did.
I mean, yeah, the first one's decent. I remember having fun with that one growing up, but yeah, they've made way too many of them, and the last one only made $64 million domestically.
Sweet Jesus.
Internationally, it did $340 million, so it still broke even and made money, but domestically, it's a disaster, the last one. So yeah, it had a $100 million budget, made $400 million overall. So it made money, but domestically, it was hot, steamy garbage.
But here it is right here. So they have pushed this off. We knew it was coming. But now look at the Star Wars landscape. And that's why I brought this up today. Is Disney Star Wars collapsing? Because you're seeing a lot more articles lately of shills being critical. And so I put this forward to you right now. Skeleton Crew is in literally 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks the most, December 3rd. Do you guys see any marketing for this show at all?
Nope.
Anything?
No.
And I watch a lot of ESPN.
Okay.
And nothing.
All I see are weirdo stands posting picture releases from Empire Magazine on Twitter. That's all I see. And occasionally, look, I found a toy. I found a Black Series figure of the little creature that we're all horny for. That's what I saw. Gross. I don't see any marketing for this anywhere, and it's out in 3 weeks. They dropped that trailer a couple weeks ago. That was it. So this isn't looking good for Disney Star Wars. Now, I'm going to review it. I'm going to probably trash it. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. But after that, then when you got, they just announced Andor Season 2 for April 22nd. All they showed of that was a sizzle reel and a few pictures here and there, and people are pretending it's a big thing. It's not going to. Do we think Andor Season 2 is going to move the needle?
Not with how the first one did. I know some people liked it. I have no interest in Star Wars, so I never watched it. But the fact that so many people are freaking out because K2SO is going to be in Season 2, and you got an image of him with Alan Tudyk coming back, that shouldn't move the needle.
No. Or they're thirsting over Diego Luna wearing long coat.
Mm-hmm.
Really, and the fake fans going, "Oh my God, is that Dantooine? Are they gonna be on Dantooine?" They're like fake fan shit like that. Who are, I'm gonna basically say a thing that makes you sound like I have deep, profound knowledge of Star Wars. Oh, they're gonna be on Dantooine. I mean, listen, you know what I did today before we did this show today because I wanted to go to a happy place. I watched A New Hope because I needed it. I needed it today.
It's a good film,
and I feel good. But see, when I want to watch Star Wars, I go to the real thing. People like I just made fun of, they go to Disney Star Wars. So are we watching the collapse of Disney Star Wars truly now in real time as they put out these projects that get no fanfare and have historically little interest. And even like with Mandalorian Grogu, are being rejected because the stands are even sick of Mandoverse.
Mm-hmm.
They all still have a bug up their ass about the Acolyte. Like, why does Mandoverse get to continue, but Acolyte was canceled? Or is it collapsing?
To answer, I mean, I see why those people are upset because they were finger blasting themselves to that show, but Mandalorian made money. That's the point. It made money. Grogu became the highest selling Disney toy like ever. So there's that. Sure, the show will take a major downturn and it's hot garbage now, but there was a moment where that show ruled the world.
Mm-hmm.
Acolyte is cost a gajillions of dollars with no hope of return on money. Looking at it strictly logistically, in no way, shape, or form should that show get any type of recognition unless Jesus himself came down from the heavens to bring that joint back from the grave. There's no reason for it.
Yeah.
These people are just unwell.
Yeah. So, Jed, do you think it's collapsing? I mean, really? Because I don't see it. I don't see anything that's going to carry it at this point.
I think we're literally in the phase where they're throwing shit at the wall and seeing what people react to. Like, they're announcing so much shit right now with no actual plans to follow through with anything. They're just hoping, hey, if we announce, next let's do a Jango Fett prequel film. Anyone reacting to that? Crickets. Okay, we'll put that one on the back burner. All right, anybody interested in Old Republic? Crickets. And they're just doing whatever they can and hoping for a massive reaction. And as soon as they get a massive reaction, I think they'll get down to work and make a movie in the next 2 years. But they're looking for this big reaction, and it's not possible anymore. And I think they know that. This is the death rattle of any company when you have to make as many announcements as possible just to see if any of them bear the slightest interest from the fans. And that's not happening. So I don't expect us to see any of these besides obviously Mandalorian and Grogu. I don't think the Old Republic movie from James Mangold will ever see the light of day.
It's not even a Republic. It's not even a Republic. It's Birth of the Jedi. It's Dawn of the Jedi. That's not even the Republic. They're going 20,000 years.
Really far back.
They're going to the beginning. Yeah.
Regardless, I don't think any of these projects are coming out, and they're just hoping that one of them piques interest, and so they're going to keep announcing. I think we might even get up to 20 announced unreleased films at one point just because they're hoping that something grabs the attention, but it's not going to. So this is absolutely the last ditch final attempt before something drastic happens, whether that be them trying to sell, whether that be them putting it on the back burner or trying to refocus and go in a different direction like we've been telling them forever, clean house per se. But yeah, we're in the last death grasp before major change, one way or another. This is the last thing they got, their last idea.
And you brought up a great thing, grab attention. The Daisy Ridley announcement from last week that she's their focus, that raised the focus, that didn't grab attention. It drew ridicule is what it did. Because what it did is it spawned the shills. That's why I bring this up. The shills are wavering because they're saying all Disney doesn't have nostalgia to bank on anymore for Star Wars. All they have is Rey, and Rey doesn't move the needle. So that was a great way to put that. Nothing grabs attention. Only childish adults are getting ready for Skeletor. Childish adults and me and a couple others who still review this garbage. That's all the people paying attention. Mando Grogu, nobody's excited for that. And then after that, Ahsoka season 2, maybe in 2020, late 2026, 2027. Seriously? That up until Acolyte, that was the lowest rated Disney Star Wars show on D+. Ahsoka was a disaster. And all it will do is butcher more actual lore. Setting up, now we have to remember, it's the grand plan. The ultimate culmination of the Dave Filoni Mandoverse, his version of Heir to the Empire. At least that's what we all call it. It's all building towards that, but nobody asked for that. Nobody wants it. And then the figment of our imagination Rey movies with Simon Kinberg and Charbito May chin, all that shit. They got nothing. And I know this is not a popular thing to say. People don't like it exactly when I say it, but I will continue to say it doesn't matter that Disney owns the rights to the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. Guess what? OT people, fans, it ain't buying that shit anymore. They've got everything they want out of it. There's not products you can make. That, to me, from my personal logical perspective, there's no money in anymore because those who buy that shit have rejected Disney. So what money does Disney Lucasfilm bring in? Can anybody tell me? Go ahead. No, go.
Oh, you're absolutely right. They cling on to this idea that the original trilogy is their moneymaker, but they aren't making new toys for it. And even if they did, people aren't going to buy those. They're streaming it. So, yeah, I guess a couple people might watch it on Disney Plus, but that doesn't make any money. We know streaming services are a garbage money pit. And anyone who wants the physical copies probably already has the physical copy. So the one thing that could make them money has no avenue to reasonably bring in any money.
The only reason that Disney might not sell off Lucasfilm was because they're holding on to that hope that they can remake the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy once George is dead.
I think the Harry Potter show will actually be a good thing to look at its response to see if they're actually going to move forward with that. If the Harry Potter show does really well, people react to it well, I think a remake of Lord of the Rings and remake of the original Star Wars trilogy will absolutely be on the table. It's going to be kind of the testing ground, I think, because it's kind of in a similar era, at least with the prequels for Star Wars. And yeah, I think that'll be a good, Turing test to see if they start see how they react to it.
That's sort of tough sell, Jed. That's still kind of a tough sell. And
I think it's a good idea. I still don't think it's a good idea, but
yeah, like I get exactly what you're saying. In regards of the Harry Potter show being, como se dice, I guess, a remaster or a reboot of what it was 20 years ago in the films and stuff. I can see how that can be a good measuring stick if that was to be measured that way. But I think the Star Wars franchise is a little bit more delicate than the Harry Potter franchise.
And here's the thing.
I agree. It's stupid, but I think that's where they go. Yeah. Like, I'm trying to go down to their IQ level.
I have one sticking point as to why I can see where you're going with it and why it's a good idea to look at it that way. My only sticking point is the fact that the reason there's room for the Harry Potter TV show to be a remake is because the movies didn't accurately cover the books.
No, I agree. From a logical standpoint, that's the one out of all those projects that has at least a justification for it.
What you're saying is making sense.
Human being shouldn't look at any of these properties to remake, but I'm thinking the dumb Disney people will be like, "Oh, that remake of a classic property."
They want to see Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo. They want to see somebody in there as Luke Skywalker. They want to see
it's going to be Timothy Chalamet or Tom Holland as Luke.
They want to see Carrie Fisher's daughter brought in as Leia. They want to see all that shit. Billy Porter, is that her name? Billy Porter, is that her name? No.
I don't know.
I don't know. They want to see her. They want to see everything. They want Hayden Christensen under the mask for Darth Vader. They want Ewan McGregor as Old Ben. That's what they want.
It's going to be so confusing. Like, if they did that, are they decanonizing the original trilogy but keeping the prequels in canon? Like, I just mean with the prequels. Like, is this the continuation of the prequels?
They will, because the prequels would remain canon because of the Disney Plus shows, because of Obi-Wan, because of Ahsoka, and because they brought in Ewan McGregor, because they brought in Hayden Christensen. The prequels would remain canon. They wouldn't remake the prequels, but they would remake the original trilogy. Yeah. So it's their version.
And they might make some changes to make it fit into the sequel trilogy more, kind of like with The Mandalorian, justifying Palpatine's return. They're going to have some shit about like someone with a vial in The Return of the Jedi. It's like, I have the clone DNA of Palpatine.
They would Bad Batch whole shit. They'd stoop in Ahsoka. They'd find and say, oh, look, here's Ahsoka in the original trilogy. Shut up, nerds. They would do everything possible.
It's going to be her, not Yoda, who trains Luke.
Oh, Or she'd be at the Battle of Yavin. Oh, they put that stupid cow Herethadullah at the Battle of Yavin too. Because they have the nerve to say she's the greatest pilot in the galaxy.
Oh God, Han
Solo. Leave Herethadullah alone, Adam. We all know that Rebels is trash. We all recognize this.
I will not leave her alone because they
You
insist on making her a thing.
You ready for Timur Morrison at the Battle of Endor playing Rex?
don't do that.
They would do it too because, oh my God, he has a white beard. He has to be a clone.
Anyone with white beard must be other person with white beard I've seen before.
Yeah, I know. So they would do, if they did this, they would do everything that we've always criticized Disney Star Wars not lining up the original trilogy or even the prequels. And they would, that's what they would do. And they're not going to do it till George dies. Now, I want George to live forever.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to live forever. I want him to live at least until they're losing so much money they have to sell it. And I still believe now, Kathleen Kennedy has extended her contract by a few months. We know this. It came out a couple months ago. She will be there her contract ends at the end of December. She'll be there for at least the first 2 quarters of 2025. She wants her win. She's not going to get a win.
No.
So until she leaves, none of these dominoes begin to fall because she can't. Disney Star Wars, Disney Lucasfilm cannot be sold as long as she's there. After she's gone, and someone like Dave Filoni or some other patsy simp gets thrown in there, then the gears start to move because I bring it back to it. Show me where Lucasfilm in the past 13, 14 years now, since the sale, show me where they've made a profit overall. You can't. Nothing on Disney Plus has ever made money. We know earlier this year when Forbes released that article, even by their kind of weird metrics, they haven't even made back the purchase price for Star Wars. They haven't. The toys, the licensing, that's not bringing in money. Only the weirdos are buying this shit. The comics, the bastardization comics that they're putting on Vader and the time in between Empire and Jedi, those don't sell. Legos sell, but you know what? That makes money for Lego. That makes money for Lego. The video games, they're not breaking down doors. The Jedi insert subtitle series, nobody cares about those anymore. Outlaws, in this time next week, we will have Steam chart numbers for how bad Outlaws is going to do with its Steam launch. We already know it didn't sell 1 million copies. That's a failure. The Eclipse game gone.
Oh, I forgot about the Eclipse game.
The trailer that everybody got so excited about. And I said, ain't going to happen. Guess what? 3 years later, nothing. Old Republic remake. Oh, they got smart on that one fast. They knew that was a disaster. So show me where they make money. You can't. High Republic. Almost, God help me, I almost forgot High Republic. Epic disaster. No money. So we are seeing with the current news surrounding these announcements and that, the reaction by people, these are the cracks. Disney Star Wars it's truly on the way out. I cannot wait for the Skeleton Crew numbers. Because unlike with a couple other things we recently reviewed, the Nielsen numbers are going to be accurate for that one. And the Samba numbers are going to be accurate. They're going to be good snapshots of how nobody cares. Either way, Disney Star Wars is on the way out. I cannot wait for it to. I want Mando and Grogu too. Don't get me wrong. I want that in the theater because that's going to be the ultimate slap in the face, and I'm going to deliver it happily. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, check out my gaming channel at Renaissance Nerd Arcade, and follow me on X Twitter under @TheRedNerd. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy.